Wait. Apologies for that. Y'all saw me pause? Y'all saw me pause? Shoot. Apologies for that, y'all. Good evening, everyone. Oh my god. Did you see me pause? Did you see me pause? Crap, dude. Alright. Did you guys see me pause the live? I'm super ready. Freaking A. Where's the senorito, y'all? At Senorita JDL, my tag amigo, brother. Where you at? Good evening, everyone. Joining us. Well, it's actually yeah, good evening, 11:56 p.m. Good evening to everyone, and good morning to those in Central Standard Time or in Texas time. Good morning to y'all. Hello. How's it going, fellas? Where's the tag amigo, Senorita JDL, brother? Where you at, homie? There you go, brother. I'ma wave at you. I'ma add you on the live. Oh wait, let me pin the comment. Do this. And a 3, 2. Ooh, baba. Where you at, homie? Where you at? That's still connected.
Yo,
Still connected. What's up, brother?
sorry, I don't know what happened there.
It's funny. You
Instagram
didn't
didn't
see
let
it,
me know
bro.
that you were on live already, but yeah, I'm here now. We're you're doing good.
I'm
Doing
good.
good. How are
I
you?
just forgot to send the questions to my
How was your
laptop.
Sunday technically?
I just forgot to send the questions to my laptop. I paused it earlier.
Yeah.
You know what? I forgot my gimmick again. Holy!
Okay.
It's not me. It's
What?
not
What? You
Russian,
had to
right?
pause it.
How are you? How's your Sunday, brother?
Oh, that's why you had to pause it.
Yeah, man. Pleasant evening. Hello, Rach underscore
Yep.
Mendoza. What's up? How's your
Oh, it
Sunday,
was
bro?
very chill. Cause like I wanted to like make sure that today was a day that I rested. What's up? What's up?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that today was a day that we all rested up, and because we had a we had a pretty heavy topic last night, and it was an important topic. But right now, it's time to have fun. We're gonna talk to Sean. You're gonna talk to Shawn Hernandez. It's gonna be a great blast from the past. Well, I'm not sure where he's currently at, and that's what you're gonna ask probably right now.
He's actually in
But
Texas, bro.
yeah, I'm
He's act-
excited. I'm excited to hear from the dude, from the OG of LAX, from TNA.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, Triple F,
Good evening, Triple F.
FFFALGUI. What's up, brother? Thank you. A regular of the hashtag PWOG Live. Good evening to the Carl. Karlski, the broski, where are you at? I'm sure you're here. I didn't see you join earlier, but I'm sure you're here. But yeah,
Ken,
man.
why are you still wearing a hat? You gotta show off the hair.
Later,
You gotta show off
bro.
the
It's
hair,
not
Ken.
about me. It's about Shawn Hernandez tonight. It's not about me, brother. Not about me.
You you've been giving us blue balls with your hair, man, for the longest time.
I've heard that term in a while. That's the go, bro. Keep them waiting. Keep them wanting more. But I look, you know what?
Man, alright.
You know why I was super late today? It's crazy because I had to shave, and I'm like, where did I put my shaver? This damn shaver was like
Uh,
buried in my freaking things. I hate it when I don't. Don't you just hate that when you organize your stuff, when you're like when someone organizes your stuff for you, you don't know where your things are anymore, man.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Ken, you don't know where, because like you had an organized chaos, and then now it's all just like messed up everywhere, so you don't know where everything is. MJ Lapis is saying, "Show your hair, Ken." You gotta give the people what they want, man.
Later, bro.
You
Later,
got.
brothers. Later. But wait, before we forget, formal introduction to everyone. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to hashtag PWOG Live. I'm yours truly, Ken Warren, social media sinister. And right below is Mr. Philippine Wrestling Jake De Leon. We are two wrestlers. Collectively, we are hashtag PWOGs. We're two wrestlers from the Philippines, specifically Philippine Wrestling Revolution. And we are trapped, just like everyone else, in the quarantine. But we are not trapped with our creative juices. That's why we're expressing entertainment, our love for everything that is awesome, and that's just keeping us alive, keeping us sane, and we're sharing it to the Revo Nation, to the wrestling world, and everyone else. So there you go. There you go.
And before Sean Hernandez, oh, he's actually joined us now. So I'll talk about that later. Tagamigo Ken Warren, you got this. I will see you later tonight for. I don't know if it's still Reflection Sundays, but see you later, man.
I have it.
Have
Don't
a
worry.
good talk.
I'm ready for hashtag Reflection Sunday. See you,
All
brother.
right, have a good talk. See you later. I'll be moderating in the back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome our very special guest for this morning Texas time and this midnight in the Philippines. Multiple-time tag team champion, multiple-time heavyweight champion in the indie circuit, former Feast or Fire briefcase holder, the main man himself. I can't do the whistle, but it's Mr. Shawn Hernandez. Bra bra bra. There you go, sir. Good morning. There you go. Oh my God, I can't do it. I suck at whistling. Good morning, sir.
What's going on, guys? How are y'all?
We're good, sir. How about you, sir? Just like you know what? Before we start, sir, just like everyone else we meet during the quarantine, Mr. Hernandez, how are you, sir? What's been keeping you busy during this quarantine?
First of all, let's start with easy. I'm old enough as it is. No more sirs, no more misters. Just call me Shawn, Supermax, Hernandez, anything but sir. I'm good with that, brother. But
Alrighty.
The quarantine, the COVID stuff has now hit Texas really hard right now, and it looks like we might be ready for another lockdown. So.
Oh man. Actually, it's the same case here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Just like what people don't realize nowadays is the stores and everything else is opening up for the economy. It doesn't mean that the virus is gone.
Exactly.
So, oh my God, I don't know what else we can say to the people to stop wearing masks, to stop social distancing. It's crazy.
Well, it's the people who we have here in Texas. I don't know how it is everywhere else. That they would bum rush Target, the store Target, and not wear a mask and get in confrontations with employees there about wearing a mask. And so Target got scared. It's okay, you don't have to wear a mask. And this slowly happens like that. I mean, I'm going to respect your boundaries. You respect my boundaries. I want to shop in your store. You want me to wear a mask? Okay, let me wear a mask. It's not going to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? It might hurt your hurt your pride, it might hurt your feelings, but I mean, come on. Just because you're not sick, maybe that person might be sick. Maybe that person might have less, a weaker immune system than you. So, I mean, my wife's a science, anatomy, and physiology teacher, so even she's just on my butt all the time about wash hands, make sure if I left the room, just wash your hands. I go, I just left the room, relax. So this stuff's real.
Yes, absolutely. And people, everyone who's tuning in, maybe even on the replay of #PWOG Live, guys, please, it's not just for you. It's for everyone else around you. Do it for your family. Don't do it for you. Do it for your family, the people you care for. But yes, sir. That's a great way to start the show. And we have to talk about the important stuff. We can't turn a blind eye on that one. But yes, sir. On a lighter note, let's shift whenever you're ready, Hernandez. Let's shift gears and let's do some. Let's shake things up. I don't know if there's some fine questions yet, but let's start with one of the questions we have for you. So, are you ready, Shawn?
Whatever you got, brother. What's up?
Alrighty. So, I've been wondering, like throughout the years, just like a D'Lo Brown, you have this iconic walk. How did you come up with this? Like, the wrestling business, as it is a business of standing out. How did you come up with this?
Well, honestly, it's my gimmick is my character is like a cholo, a big oversized cholo, but I want to add my own flair to it. Every cholo, like when you're trying to impress a chick when you walk down the street, or going to the mall, or something like that, So I took little bits and pieces of what I saw, and of course, growing up as a kid, I'm a lot older than you. One of my favorite shows was The Jeffersons.
Sounds familiar. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
It's The Jeffersons. Sherman Hemsley was the black guy who owned all the laundromats in New York, and when we had a proud moment, he would have a little cocky walk. And just stimulate off that. I mean, you got to stick out. You want to get a crowd reaction. You want to get a crowd, good or bad. You want a crowd reaction. You don't want the crowd sitting on their hands. And so, of course, like for myself, if I hit a nice moment in a match, and I want to explanation point that moment, I'm gonna hit that walk. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit that little strut to make sure, hey, did you just digest what you just saw? Yes, you did. And you're going to see it again with my dumbass walk.
Now I get it. It's your Ric Flair strut. It's your Ric Flair
Similar,
strut.
it's similar, yes.
Oh my goodness gracious! Now I get it. That's awesome. And speaking of iconic or like standing out moves that you have, my tag amigo who's actually moderating right now, Jake De Leon, has the same question as I do, which
Okay.
is maybe you've been asked this question a lot, I'm sure, throughout the years. How was the iconic whistle developed, and like when was that light bulb moment that you thought, you know what, I could use this in wrestling?
Honestly, I like to joke. All my friends know I like to joke around, and and tell jokes and make people laugh at the most inopportune times. I started wrestling in Mexico. My Spanish is a lot better now, but it was next to nil back then. And that whistle means something. I would take the bus from Houston to Nuevo Laredo to Mexico, which is about 6 hour drive on bus, and wait at the bus station to go to Monterrey, Mexico to wrestle. There's groups of guys that see Americans getting off the bus and maybe maybe looking to rob you, maybe looking to screw with you a little bit, and that whistle means something. That whistle, I don't know how your show is, how PG or how not PG your show is.
It's no, you can explain it, sir. Sorry, and Hernandez, you can
Okay,
explain.
this whistle, that was right there in Mexico, means chingo tu madre, which means fuck your mama. That's what that whistle means. So, yes, sir. And do that. Go to Mexico City and point to something. Go, and you might get jumped. You might get robbed. I mean, you might get both.
To think it's so iconic, it's the start of your solo theme song.
Oh yeah,
That's what it means.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck your mama.
Like I said, with my friends, they know I like to joke around, probably too much, and so when they started to get my singles thing, I was just joking. I was just messing around. I go, hey, like how Stone Cold has the glass break and then his music plays. I go, would it be cool if I play like something happens, maybe a whistle or something like this to indicate that I'm coming out? And the management from today was from Nashville, Tennessee. There's not many Mexicans in Nashville, Tennessee. So they go, oh, okay, cool. That would sound cool. So to normal people who know nothing about the Spanish Mexican culture, think, man, that whistle's stupid, or that whistle's kind of cool, or have no idea what it is. When we wrestle in Texas, California, Arizona, all in the southwest part of the United States, they're dying laughing. They're dying laughing because they know exactly what that means. They know exactly what's going on, and it's awesome. So it's a little, a joke among, an inside joke for me, for the fans, for the Mexican fans, for everybody else.
But absolutely, that's probably one for the boys. Like that's
Oh yeah,
that's definitely what.
oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just the Mexican culture is such a beautiful culture. The food, the history, the culture. How they talk with their hands all the time, and different hand gestures mean different things. Where everyone knows, probably international, that if you put the middle finger up, you know what that means. Whether you're in Japan, whether you're in the United States, whether you're in India, if someone gives you the middle finger, what that means. But do you know what this means?
No, that's actually one of the questions. But yes, please, Hernandez, please explain.
Balls in your mouth.
When you do this, when you do this, it's like a wide razor thing. You do this, right?
Oh yeah. So I'm literally telling everyone, fuck your mama, balls in your mouth.
How about this one? This doesn't mean anything, right?
No,
It does. No.
This is, I have, right here on my forearms, back up, and I would go, cross my arms, back up, son. So that is me.
Okay.
That's just normal. But I mean, as far as because I'm mostly it's really real hard for me, especially later in my career, to be a babyface all the time. And so I'm still doing this. Like I remember when I came back to Impact in Atlanta, and the last time we could have a crowd before the pandemic got really, really bad. I'm doing the whistle at the top of my lungs, and I'm on the top rope, doing all this, and they're eating it up. They have no idea, because my brain doesn't turn off. Oh man, you're supposed to be the heel today, or you're supposed to be the babyface. I just once I hear that music, I just go out. I just go in a trance, and my transitions to different moves. I'll be honest. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing. It just my character takes over, and that's what happens.
Oh man.
So if you see some stuff that, hey, before he did that move to the next move, why you do that dumbass balk and whistle and hand gestures to the crowd? Probably because I just let my character take over. I guess immersed in the character and just let it go.
God bless you, Shawn. Oh my God. People need to incorporate themselves more in
Oh
their
yeah,
persona and the gimmick. That's like the lesson there, right?
well, most definitely. Because I mean, Impact. I'll be very honest with you. Impact is probably the best wrestling show that nobody watches.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Yes, a lot of underrated wrestlers are
Oh
there.
yeah, there's kids there, and well, they're all adults, but I mean, there's kids there that I mean, even when I was that age, I can't do a fifth of those moves. But if you're just doing the moves, you might as well have a mask on and be a lucha guy and be a first or second match guy because you're doing the moves. So a knee injury or a bad shoulder injury, no one's going to remember you. Or they go, hey, 10 years ago that guy used to do that cool flip, and now he broke his leg, and now he don't do it no more. You have to, wrestling is more than just wrestling. It's pageantry. It's connecting with the crowd, and it's also having getting your character exuded to that crowd to let them know, hey, I'm the guy you want to boo. Hey, I'm the guy you want to cheer. So I mean, that's just how what makes money for me. Because I mean, I could do 1,000 moves in those 5-minute matches, just like those young kids. But I mean, to me, it makes me just know, oh, that match was good. What's next? But hey, that match was good. Hey, that guy, man, after he hit that one move and they did that cocky little walk, I really hate that guy. I want to see him get beat up, or I want to cheer him more because I like him doing that stupid whistle. It's all about you have to have the whole package.
Yeah, man, that's so beautiful. Like a lot of pro wrestlers, especially in our generation right now, need to hear that. It's like what we not really what we grew up in, but like what's the in thing now, especially with the internet. It's just fast-paced wrestling. That's the storytelling aspect of it, which is not really storytelling anymore. It's very more like athletic. Nothing wrong with showcasing your athleticism, but
don't get me wrong. I love these guys can go.
Yes, absolutely.
Impact, WWE, AEW, these guys can go. But let's be realistic as a casual fan. Not like I have to watch every Monday or every Tuesday, whatever it is. As a casual fan, I want to remember this guy. I want to remember, hey, so next time I tune in, maybe I don't tune in every week. Maybe I turn in once a month. Maybe I turn in once every 3 months. Hey, I remember that one time I watched, he had a good match. I really hated him. I want to see him get beat up. Let's watch this. Or, hey, man, I like how he gets the crowd into it. Man, I want to watch it. I want to cheer him. No one's going to remember this guy did some 35 different flips because everyone's doing the same moves. When I was wrestling, especially in TNA, especially when I first was coming up, if you did certain moves that was similar to the top guys, you knew better than to do them. And why is that? Because you don't want to, one, try to upstage, the veteran, or two, have the fans conditioned to see the same stuff, to see the same moves. So if the first match is doing say first match is doing a moonsault to the crowd, and then 2 matches later, another match, the moonsault to the crowd. So the first now, the crowd loves it. Second, by the main event, when the main event does it, then we saw that 30 minutes ago. It's the same thing. If you want to learn how to make money in wrestling, you have to, one, know your history and have some respect. It has nothing to do with, well, my moonsault looks better than his. That guy's made millions of dollars doing that moonsault. You have not made one. That's fine. So how about tweak it a little bit? Make it a double moonsault, or make it a triple moonsault, or whatever it is. Make it your own. You know what I'm saying? So if they see 1 moonsault, they're going to remember that more than they see 3 or 5 moonsaults in the whole show. Yeah, the show is great. The show is so athletically superior than anything they've been watching. But who did the moonsault? Which guy?
Which moonsault in the 10 matches tonight?
So you had 10 matches, so you had 5 moonsaults. Man, that moonsault was awesome. Which one? Oh man, well I was getting popcorn during that time. Oh man, well I had to take my kid to the bathroom during that time. I missed it. And it has to, you have to know your history. You have to know you have to have respect for the business. At least respect for the guys you're wrestling with. I remember when I was when I first started in TNA. Certain moves you cannot do because the more established stars was already there. Once that established star either retires, quits, gets fired, one of the 3, then you can do that move. Then you're elevated that move. It's just like what people don't realize: pro wrestling is a business. Once $1 is exchanged, once I pay $1 to get into your show, it is a business. So what if my moonsault looks 20 times better than yours? You're the main event. I'm not. You're the champ right now. So the company is putting their money behind you, not me. So why am I disrespecting you because you're the star at the moment? B, the company by lessening your moves. It doesn't make any sense. It's not making me any more money. It's lessening your money, and guess what? All the money in the promotion is behind you right now. So if I'm diminishing your moves, why would I want to watch you? And therefore, why are you going to watch me? This is what I've been dealing with the last 22 years. I mean, different people's stories might be different, but I mean that's how I take my experiences. So I mean, don't say what I'm saying is the gospel because it probably is not. It might not even apply to you.
Absolutely. But man, this is such a beautiful guessing so far, Shawn. We're sitting. People don't even realize this. We are sitting under your learning tree. I am just a sponge right now. I'm just absorbing everything. I'm a mega sponge right now for the Super Mix.
I've learned, from the best. I've learned from Mexico, L.A. Park, the original La Parka. I've learned from Homicide, obviously. Super, super indie star, Ring of Honor, the king, the godfather of the East Coast. And I mean, he doesn't like me putting him over and saying how great he is, but and he'll probably, if he sees this, he'll probably cuss me out later on a message because he's very, very humble guy and I love him to death. But he's created an atmosphere and and a learning tree under him that's second to none.
Absolutely, and it shows in your matches, in your iconic matches. Before I even forget, Shawn, I actually tried to get him as a guest, but he's just not doing any interviews as of the moment. But I was able to mention to him that you guys, I think back in 2006, you guys made the tag division of Impact something to watch out for every time. This is not kissing your ass at all. This is legit. This is real talk. You made it cool, man. From the logo, from the theme song, from the strut, from everything. And actually, sorry, we go.
No, go ahead, sir. I'm listening.
Oh yes. From that, I just wanted to ask this question as well. As the muscle of LEX and the OGs, what was the thought process of being not just the big man of the group, but also the high flyer of the group. Especially we touched on some moves a while ago.
It's real simple. You're say LAX versus AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels. One of my favorite feuds. You know, AJ Styles is in a class by himself. Christopher Daniels, great ring general, in a class by himself. Homicide, we talked about it before, a class by himself. Who the fuck's this big guy? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, honestly, I'll be 1,000% real. My goal was not to be the weak link in that match. Make sure that I was not the reason why that match sucked. Or, man, that match was awesome, except for that big guy. You know, you're guys with, because the lineage of AJ, the lineage of Homicide, the lineage of Daniels, everyone knows those guys from the Indies, from WWE, from AEW, from Ring of Honor, from Japan. They know who these guys are. I took a different route. I went a little bit. I didn't know what I really wanted to do in wrestling. I was doing Japan for a while, and then I got sucked into going the Mexican style, which I love. And so when I first started TNA, no one really knew much about me. So I wanted to make my moments memorable. And of course, if you watch the matches back then, those guys made me look like a super monster, because they made sure that my moments when it was my turn to be on offense was iconic, was meant something. They didn't have me in there doing stuff that anyone could do. They left me out literally outside the ring. I would get in the ring every now and then, and when it was my time for the crowd to go, whoosh, that's when I came. That's when I was in. So, I mean, learning by watching, learning by the crowd feel. I learned how to wrestle real quick from those guys, because I mean, in the ring, because I'm literally watching Homicide do a move set with AJ, and then AJ would tag out, and then he would do a move set with Daniels. Then I would come in for a move or two, and then I would continue, and they kept the matches like this. And those guys, I can't say nothing, but great things about those guys. Those guys made me. They made me look, like a monster. And you always, whether you do it in private, whether you do it in public, or whether you do it to anyone, you always got to thank someone for helping you, because they could have shut me out and made me look dumb if they wanted to, but they made sure these matches were very memorable. And what can I say? Those guys were great.
That's a thank you for sharing that, Shawn. It's a beautiful story. Yeah, man, just paved the way for how, that's the right term, like paved the way for everyone else. That's what you're doing right now. Like, for example, like giving a chance to a humble show like us. Like, we're nobodies, but like you took the chance on us just to share your story, share what the wrestling business nowadays needs to hear, especially here in the Philippines, here in Southeast Asia, and we are grateful.
Sir, it's not just you, it's worldwide. It's not just you. If these guys would exude their character more, wrestling would be more popular than ever, because these guys can do so many cool things, so many athletic things that, I mean, I don't know if I'm watching parkour or watching a wrestling match, or, these guys are unbelievable. I mean, stuff that I mean, just like, you sit at the camera, you sit, backstage watching the show on the monitor, like, how the hell do you do that? It's, I love watching Rick Swan's matches, because he tries to entertain, and he has in his mind, he can entertain and still do all those crazy moves. I'm like, my head spins sometimes.
Oh man, yes. And I'm sure he's not going full speed yet. When you see a Rich Swan match, he's holding it back for sure. He's holding it back. He can go.
I'm sure, because he don't look tired when he comes to the bag. So
absolutely. All right, backtrack a bit, Shawn. You mentioned, of course, we can't mention Shawn Hernandez without Homicide and the how humble he is. But actually, let's take a fan question. This is from at MJ Lapus. What's the most important lesson that you've learned from Homicide and still resonates with you to this very day?
so many. I mean, we're really good friends, and I mean, I just sponge off him all the time. I mean, right now is it's always be humble, because there's someone always going to be better than you, or politics can work against you. So I mean, anything can, injuries, you know, just be humble, and the person gives you respect, give them respect right back. There's no shame in in respecting someone, even if you don't like them.
Mhm.
Just for 10 to 15 minutes, maybe I don't like you at all. Maybe I'd never want to hang out with you in a million years. You know, if you were straight on the road and no one knew, and saw you over there in the corner, I would keep driving. Well, for that 10 to 15 minute time that we're wrestling, we're on the same page. We're going to show the crowd, boos and cheers, and try to make it magic. Regardless if you like someone or not. So I mean, that's from like day one, because I remember I was doing what do you call those pre-show matches for Ring of Honor back in 2002 and 3 and 4. I'm besides the main event. I'm doing the pre-match, hoping to just to be on the main show. So you can So who would have thought 3 or 4 years later we'd be putting a tag together? I'm literally pre-show match. The show starts at 8, so I'm like 7:30. People are still coming in the building. It's almost like a tryout match. Doing my match, hoping to catch on, and then I would sit back and watch Homicide in the semi-main, Homicide in the main. It was like weird. It's very humbling, because I mean, people say, "Man, you're so much bigger." Dude, it has nothing to do with big. I'm right now I'm about 260. Back then I was about 310.
Dang.
And here was a 310 monster, hoping to catch on when Homicide's about 185, 200 pounds, just killing it with these iconic matches in Ring of Honor.
Absolutely, and man, but like you're not the short. How would you say? Put yourself on the short end of the stick, but man, you broke the mold of what a big guy is. For real, you did, man. Like, I think you and like guys like Samoa Joe, you broke the mold. Like that's what made Impact. That's what made TNA stand out back in the days, man. So that's
But,
that's
but
crazy.
remember, sir, what they did in TNA back then and how they do with WWE. I think, I'm not sure, because I don't watch WWE that much. They don't have guys doing the same signature moves. They don't have the guys doing the same signature moves. So guess what? So when you see Samoa Joe getting his butt beat, and all of a sudden it's time for his comeback and he's destroying dudes, they don't have him. They don't have someone else doing his same move set, or even the same moves. Now I'm not talking about basic moves. I'm talking about signature moves. Now we see, and I saw this firsthand 5 years ago at Lucha Underground, everyone doing a 450 at the top.
That's true. Hey, that's true.
I'm like, what the hell is going on? They all look awesome, but I mean, you can't tell. Well, is that like which 450 was best, or which 450 do we even remember? And I mean, so for myself, right around the 5 or 6 years ago mark, that's when people, I guess, either not knowing the wrestling history, not knowing the wrestling respect, it just went downhill, because these guys now, well, he does it for 50, so do I. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do mine anyway. Who cares? Because guess what? You do your 450, and then he does his 450. No one's gonna remember either of you. They're gonna just remember the move.
Yeah, I don't. Hey, it's what makes the meme culture thrive nowadays. But I understand what you're trying to say, sir. So like, man, I just wish they like what's crazy, the term what's old is new nowadays. So like like what you would do when you taunt after a move, that's like, whoa, no one does that anymore, because others would be concerned of the next spot.
Yep.
So Yeah. Oh man, like making the move means something, man.
That's what those guys do. You know, and like I said, I watched it firsthand. Watching Lucha Underground, you have a bunch of unknown, very talented guys in mass getting their first big shot to be a star, and they forget what they were taught when they were in AAA. They forgot what they were taught in WWE or TNA, because a lot of these guys you saw that were unknown stars were still bit stars somewhere else. They weren't just come out of thin air. So they knew, hey, when I was here, only one guy did the 450. Or when I was here, only one guy did the I say moonsault to the outside. You know, now because there's no one telling you no, you're not policing yourself to do it. You know what I'm saying? So no, because you don't have some old grizzled vet. Hey, that's my move. Don't be doing that. Hey, that's my spot. Don't be doing that, because you don't have a grizzled vet in the back crying, telling you, hey, don't do that. You just made the Wild Wild West, and everyone is doing the same moves, and now no one remembers anyone.
Hey, yeah, I don't. That's very true. I have like I'm in loss for words with how true that is. But I mean, who am I to speak? I'm still, as you were able to mention, like in the Wild Wild West nowadays, where which, but this is the guidance that we need. Honestly, this is the guidance that what we need to hear.
Well, the problem is the guys that can give great advice, and that's not me. I'm not, I'm trying to help, but I mean, these guys that give great advice. Guess what happens? WWE snatches them up, makes them NXT coaches, makes them producers, makes them part of that program. That's and that's where you see all these polished guys there. Whether you like them or not, whether you think they're good or not, they're all polished. They're not, you notice you don't see in WWE everyone doing, suicide dives every match.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see everybody doing, top rope moves every single match, because all the guys with the know-how and the brains and how wrestling psychology works, what works with wrestling fans to keep them tuning in. WWE is smartened up and took all of them. They said, all the guys with the backstage brains, they took them all from NXT coach to producer to agent. So they corner the markets. I mean, that's where a lot of the problem is, because you have the Impact. We have a D'Lo Brown who's a dream. He's an absolute dream. This guy's been there. He knows. He's been there. He's seen it all. I mean, he saw the evolution from The Rock here to you have to pencil him in for a date in WWE if he can do it that year. So I mean, he's been there. He's seen it all. And he's still got a great young mind. He thinks young, and he can relate to talent so much easier than most guys can. And we need more D'Lo Browns on everywhere around.
Absolutely. But all right, you were just another backtrack a bit, but thank you for. I'm enjoying this. We are still under your learning tree. I'm super honored.
But real quick, you're the interviewer, not me. So if you're gonna ask a question, you're gonna have to stop me to get to the next question.
Oh no. This is how you would say the respect. This is how the respect.
No.
I'm enjoying this.
No, but see, I'll get stuck in my own man syndrome, and I'll go off topic for like 20 minutes if you don't say something. So
no.
Raise your hand. Hey, next question, motherfucker. What you got?
No. You know what, brother? This is an honor for me and everyone, even my tag amigo. We are. I'm sure he's also smiling ear to ear right now, because this is like once in a lifetime. You don't get this in an interview type of interview. So we are honored on behalf of my tag amigo, man.
Brother, I had 2 cups of coffee. I just woke up about 20 minutes ago, so I'm good, man.
All right. Thank you for waking up with this. but because it's a Sunday morning, it's a family day. But thank you for taking the time. Well, here's a you mentioned Lucha Underground. So can you take us back? What was it like being involved in Lucha Underground and being aligned with Conan again during your debut?
It was awesome. I mean, all the cinematic matches you see in WWE, whether anybody wants to admit that or not, you know where you got that from.
Mm-hmm.
You know where you got that from. And don't take rocket science to realize that those cinematic matches you see in WWE or anywhere or AEW or XYZ, where they came from. These guys put these great matches on, these great storylines, great vignettes. Chris Joseph was the head writer, and he's a genius. Whether you like him or not, Lucha, especially season 1, Lucha Underground, we lit it on fire. We lit it on fire. You know what I'm saying? Because this, the storyline's a little bit outlandish, but there's also some respect to the Mexican culture, and it was awesome. So you got this white dude, Christopher Joseph, got the lucha fans like this, because he has the mind, the insight, and willing to take ideas, and not willing to be also, with the blinders on. It's my way or the highway. He was very open. He was very willing to listen to ideas, and he would sculpt them right to make television great. For anyone to say that they didn't like season 1 Lucha Underground is probably lying.
Absolutely. And like, for those watching right now, wondering who's Chris the Joseph, he's actually Big Dick Johnson, a DX member, if you will. Can you imagine that, guys? It's him. That's the head writer of Lucha Underground, which I'm surprised right now it was him. I didn't know about that, but like, that shows how the genius of it. He mixed the WWE style of television, at least in the mid evolution of it, to what modern Lucha Libre is supposed to be.
Yep.
And speaking of something modern, actually, let's change gears a bit. I've always wanted to ask this question. Did you think the LAX, or Latin American Exchange, was supposed to be the LWO? Like the goal of LWO before the formation of it? Or it's a completely different thing?
LAX was a creation of Conan and the TNA management at the time. And, for years and years before 2006, you very rarely saw someone on American television that had that much influence in the Hispanic culture. We had it, Conan's promos were brilliant. He's a lucha legend. He knows how to get you riled up. Homicide is so unpredictable. He's like the Puerto Rican Joe Pesci. You don't know what's going to come out of him. He might wrestle you, or he might take a shank out of his boot and stab you in the neck. You really don't know what's going to happen. I've wrestled with him on and off for 15 years. I still don't know what, it depends on, he might have had a bad day, and I feel sorry for who we wrestle. Everyone's worried about me throwing them, but I'll be worried about Homicide tying you in a knot and then start shanking you in your stomach. I don't know. So just being paired with those guys and being a muscle of the group, I got to sit back and learn how to get crowd reactions, how to, what gets people riled up. And these guys, I was literally stood there, looked tough, and these guys did all their stuff, and it was time for me to do my stuff. I did mine, and it was like lightning in a bottle. All three of us brought everything together, and it was, because you got to remember, when we first started, we were barely on TV. In March of 2006, when I joined TNA with LAX, we were barely on TV. And then, I'll be honest, about July or August, I'm a little bit worried, because we're barely on TV, and TNA is getting bigger. And we're not having matches. We're just, standing by the Spanish announce table. So we get up, go to the building, eating these people's free food, hanging out, joking around, not doing nothing because we didn't have a match. I just knew we were going to get fired soon. Because, you're flying us in, put us up in a hotel, pay, eating all your catering food, and we're just standing around not working. I was already trying to make plans to go back to Mexico because I was scared. Homicide. He was more optimistic, but I mean, and I remember one pay-per-view I'm sorry, we probably have maybe a match a month, if that, and maybe Explosion, not that much.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a pay-per-view coming up, and Ron Killings and Sanjay Dutt did not have a match. At the time, both of them were baby faces. They didn't want to put them in a match together, and they're still scrambling who they gonna put it with, and they just screw it. Let's give those LAX kids a chance. And that's what from July, August to December, in 4 months, we've become virtually from nobodies to the talk of the tag division TNA. So I mean, people don't realize that. I mean, they can say, "Yeah, I was an LX fan for life, this and that." Was you an LX fan in March '06 when we were standing there by the Spanish Announce table getting no matches? No, you probably were not. I remember we'd go to, they'd do meet and greets and stuff like that, and people just walk right past us. And those guys don't even wrestle. And then, by December or January, 5 or 6 months later, we had, standing room only waiting for us for autographs. So it was very, very quick turnaround.
So yours. It's safe to say like the LAX route or the LAX group. It's almost for the fans. It's almost like a blue collar almost kind of group because like they saw you like the hardship. At least those the ones who witness it, like from basically nobody to like again you were able to mention the talk of the town of the tag division of what made the tag division watchable for TNA back in the days.
I remember we did the Universal Studios tapings, and we would walk by fans, and nobody would even know who we were or care. Oh man, where's AJ? Oh man, where's Merciless One? Oh man, where's this? And we're literally standing right in front of them. And then this was like March, April, May, even in June, and then from like July to December, especially towards the end of the year of '06, we were the talk of the town, talk of all TNA. Every house show we'd go to, we would just be killing, standing room only meet and greets. And then if you noticed, from like October '06 on, you saw I wouldn't say everyone, but you saw a majority of people in the crowd in the Orlando studios with LAX gear on, with LAX t-shirts, with LAX everything. And we're talking about not just Latinos, black guys, black girls, white little white kids, And you got to remember when we first started, we were very militant,
Yes.
pro-Latino. Everybody else sucks, I remember we had strict orders when we did have matches that, like when you have to come through the crowd and you have to like shake hands and slap five with little kids and stuff like that. We were directly ordered, if you were not Latino, not to even look at you, not even shake your hand. I mean, so here's a little 5-year-old white kid with a little hand waiting for a little high five, and you just got to look at him and just keep walking. And that's what made, I think, got people, got the heads turned. Hey, these guys mean business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and like it's almost to me like as I analyzed this as you were telling this story, you were like a combination of the LWO and the Shield and the Bullet Club before they were the Shield and the Bullet Club. If I make sense. And
maybe with sprinkled in with Nation of Domination, I would think.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because with Conan with the mouthpiece, he was like the Farouk.
And that's what made it work so great. Because I mean, you can have a great mouthpiece, but if the in-ring product sucks, nobody cares.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You can have a great mouth. I'm sorry. Conan in his sleep can probably cut a promo better than 90% of people, trying. So you have to have the product match the mouth. You know what I'm saying? And we were very fortunate that it worked out that way.
Right, absolutely, and to this day, in an interview, actually, you mentioned like I think LAX lasted for how would you say 3 years, but it's so iconic.
Yeah.
To this very day, you guys are famous. Man, we have to be respectful of your time as we wind down a bit. I have one more question, but I have another segment just to wrap it up. But my one last question would be, because I'm not sure if it was asked to you before, what's your thought on returning to Impact as the OGs and not the LAX and facing LAX
Yeah.
in terms of the 5150 street
Yeah.
fight and the concrete jungle death match? Just real quick.
That was ridiculous, man. I mean, Homicide called me up, and I was wrestling with AAA at the time. And, hey, man, we'll get this deal. We do the new LAX versus the old LAX. I go, what? You know, I'm not being disrespectful at all. If we say LAX, that's me and Homicide. There ain't nobody else. You know, but the Santana Ortiz guys were so talented, man. So young and talented and eager to learn and eager to get better. And it was awesome because if you would align Conan with us, no one gave those guys a chance. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, there's no way storyline wise, if you put Conan aligned him with me and Homicide, that would have killed the whole dynamic. But if you put Conan with the young kids, and and Eddie Kingston with that great mouthpiece he's got, he's probably the best talker of our generation right now. You know, the realism that comes out of his mouth and how he doesn't curse when I just know his curse words are fixing to come out. He's a genius. How he can get his mind to keep it PG. And that's what made it so dynamic, because you had Conan, an iconic talker, going against this up and coming guy who is almost maybe not as good as talkers, but can at least hang with him. And then you got myself and Homicide, fighting for our old name back. So I mean, it was a great dynamic. Those kids are great. I'm very glad. I'm very happy for those guys. They've both been mentored by Homicide and Eddie. So those guys, got my blessing as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And God bless them right now, because they're at the AEW, and actually the OGs are in NWA.
Yep.
And you actually, you were able to mention in an interview as well, it was a full circle for you to rejoin Impact and just be the one to help out the younger kids who are, or us basically, the younger generation, and just remind us, because we need this reminder. This if any, my biggest takeaway from this interview, it's a reminder how the wrestling business works. And we're not saying that this is the right way, but this is an option that you guys can take, especially the ones focused on the moves.
This life, how life is a circle, wrestling's a circle too. 1 minute you start here, and then you get to the very top, and then all of a sudden, as the age comes, you come back here, and the only way you can come back up after age is to give back to these young guys and create a legacy for wrestling, not for yourself, for wrestling.
Oh man! And on that note, we are shifting gears to the segment that we have for you. It's called the Shoot Your Shot segment, wherein I show in photos of you from the internet. So it's gonna show up at my back through the magic of iPhone.
All right.
And if you can share some shoot stories for these photos, we'd appreciate it. But one quick disclaimer, Shawn. So 4 weeks. So in the span of 7 weeks, first 3 weeks, it crashed. It maybe my guest thought it was the rib. It was like, what's happening after doing this segment? Everyone's like, I was gone from the live. So, but good news, this past 4 weeks, it's been working. Okay. So just a heads up, that quick disclaimer, that if something goes wrong with the live, if you're still available, I'm going to make a new live, and please rejoin the program just to wrap it up.
All right.
All right. So there you go. Shoot your shot segment. So Shawn Hernandez, shoot your shot on, where are the photos? There we go. Shoot your shot on this photo.
That's my second action figure from TNA. It was awesome. I love it. I was very, very surprised because most guys only get one, and I got a second version. I'm super happy.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. All right, next photo. Shoot your shot on this photo.
You know you made it in life, not even just wrestling. You know, made it in life when you were actually part of the original storyline for the TNA video game.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Oh my God, it's like it's the inner child in you. So like, were you a big gamer when you were a child, or like you've always wanted to be in a
Yeah.
video game, or?
Well, it's not like, I always played sports game, football, basketball, baseball, whatever. But I mean, and when they didn't even tell us that we were going to be the storyline. They just did our all the digital stuff and made it look more realistic about ourselves, and from the clothes to the tattoos to the scars and stuff like that. And then when I actually played the game, I was like, "We're the main story character. We're the big guys." I mean, so you're like a kid on Christmas Day,
Oh man, it's awesome to hear. It's like for those, we're not spoiling really anyone, but like for those wondering what's the start of the career mode of the Impact video game, it's actually starting in Mexico, wherein the first character got jumped out of the blue. So imagine that, it's you guys who jumped in. But thank you for sharing that story. Moving on from the next photo, shoot your shot on this photo. Oh my God, cut.
That's the moneymaker right there. That's the moneymaker right there. That 8x10 has been seen everywhere. It's been in a poster. I'm speechless every time I see it, especially bringing it up. I mean, bar none, that's the best tag team that of 2006.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, especially in TNA. But like maybe, you know what, you made the reunion of the Generation X run for their money. I just feel like it. That would have been a great, mix up, if you will. But from this version of Latin American Exchange, can you please shoot your shot on this photo? Oh, it got cut again, but like with Hector Guerrero and with Selena or Shelly Martinez.
It was a great time. I mean, it was fun because it was less militant, it was less angry, and it was mostly being happy and and celebrating Latino history and partying and having a great time, just showing the crowd that hey, Latinos can be good guys too. Hector Guerrero was a great mentor to us. Just for his whole family lineage, you don't have to even go through that. His daddy Gory Guerrero, from his nephew Eddie. He is a sponge of knowledge. And he's so accessible. He's willing to share with anyone.
Awesome. That's awesome to hear, man. Like, oh, I want to pick your brain, but we have to be respectful every time. That's why we have to go with the last photo in the shoot your shot segment, which is this photo.
It's one of my favorite photos. I'm wrestling as Mr. Texas in Mexico. That's probably in an arena solely in Monterrey, and as you can tell, that was probably 2004 or 5, right before TNA. It's probably it helps the mask because it hides the shame of how much baby oil I have on at the time. Because I mean, I love it. I mean, it's really weird because I'm wrestling in Monterrey on Sundays and Tuesdays, so Mondays were off. And I'm living in Monterrey. How many bald 6'1", 300-pound dude?
And a 3, hot 2, hot 1, LAX OG's member Hernandez, Shawn Hernandez, back on the program. Hello.
What
Hello,
is
Shawn.
up with that ghetto ass shit, dude? I don't know anything about this technology crap, especially IG, XYZ. I'm over there. I'm trying to re-click on there, and thank God you answered your stuff on Twitter message, man. I have no idea about this IG stuff. I'm very, very new to this, so please bear with me.
Oh no, there's no problem. I told you this was the rib, right? It's the 1 hour limit on Instagram.
Okay.
People, I kid you not. Guys like Pillman Jr., Darren Young, Justin Gabriel was like, "What's happening with the video?" What's happening? Or like they weren't aware of the IG Live 1 hour limit. But again, I am super honored, super grateful that you rejoined us on the program. And we were finishing on the shoot your shot segment, the last photo for Mr. Texas,
Yeah.
right over here. So there you go. Let's pick up where we left off.
Glistening and all that baby oil, you know.
From the face, like that's what you're trying to hide.
Oh yeah, just hide the shame. You know, that's why the mask is red, matching my cheeks, how embarrassed I am. Because I mean, in Mexico, especially at that time in the early 2000s and before, if you're a big muscular guy, they wanted you to wear like those itty bitty Speedo trunks.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm a power lifter, not a bodybuilder. So I mean, I can keep my diet in shape for about 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden it's going to go to crap after that. So I just tried the singlet look. It worked kind of cool, and the people liked it. You know, you see that 300-pound dude just jump over the top rope and do stupid stuff, and it was awesome. I mean, the Mexican crowd, they're probably one of my top 2 favorites. You know, they're so rabid about their lucha and their history, and they get into it. You know, if you know how to entertain, you're going to get booed or you're going to get cheered very quickly. And you're going to get booed. You're going to get booed. You know, if you're a really good heel in Mexico, you're going to get ice, beer thrown on you.
Piss, right? So I heard.
You know, can you imagine 2,500 people, 5,000 people? I mean, like I've wrestled before in front of over 20,000 people in Mexico. And then when you're doing a movement, and you do a move, or you do finish a little sequence, and you're wanting your crowd approval, and you get 25 to 20,000 people going,
Fuck you.
you know what I'm saying? You know you did your job.
Absolutely. And man, how cool is it? Like when you were Mr. Texas, I'm guessing since Mr. Texas. And it's, El Paso, Texas as well. You were a face, right? As Mr. Texas. No, you were a heel.
I tried to be.
Okay, that was a job. That was a job description, supposedly.
Well, you got to realize in Mexico, if you want to be a baby face, you better be able to cut promos.
Oh.
If you can't cut a promo, the crowd, you better do some stuff that's extraordinarily in the ring. So I was very handcuffed because my Spanish at the time, my dad was very strict Green Beret for 30 years. I wanted to learn Spanish. I had to go to the library and learn. So I learned through books. You can't get pronunciation out of books. So I can read and write Spanish perfect, but my pronunciation is still bad. And it was even worse then. So how am I going to cut a promo as Mr. Texas and get you to cheer for me if you don't know what the hell I'm saying because my Spanish is so bad? You can't cut an English promo because you're in their country. You're trying to get their sympathy. You're trying to get their heart, trying to get their passion to cheer you. How are you going to communicate if you don't have the language down? So it was an uphill battle being a babyface, but I mean, when you're 300 pounds and you can throw people around and you can do big dives and stuff, they're gonna ooh and all of that. So remember we talked about this, about how wrestling has changed the last 5 or 6 years. Mm-hmm. I was a big muscle guy in a mask, just doing moves to get the crowd into it, because I had my communication skills. How am I going to communicate with you if I don't even speak the language correctly? So it can be a thing, I incorporated a little bit of Texas stuff, a little bit of lucha, and a lot of bit of guesswork.
And I'm sure the Punisher looking bull didn't help to help you determine that you were the face.
Yeah, trust me, especially you gotta realize, so my communication skills with in wrestling in Mexico, especially in 2002, 3, and 4, was pretty poor. So if you don't know what I'm saying, how do you want to? Why would you even want to wrestle me?
Hey,
Say,
strong style, Japan style, right? Feel it out, feel it out process.
You see this big 300-pound dude that you work out with at the gym, and he's just destroying stuff at the gym. Do you really want him to throw you around and you don't know what he's doing?
Oh man. But like, one quick question though: who was your favorite rival, or who was your favorite luchador to work with when you were Mr. Texas?
Tejano Senior, Hector Garza. Both of them, unfortunately, both passed. Tejano Senior was, a beautiful performer. A lot of those guys, when I first wrestled there, were scared. I was lucky to do a clothesline, a shoulder tackle, or maybe even a drop kick because, the size and, they don't know my skill level. So why would they want me to get picked up by me and thrown if they don't know what's happening? And Hector Garza is another beautiful performer, rest in peace. He knew just enough English. I knew just enough Spanish to communicate. And he goes, "Hey, can you base? Can you catch dives and moonsaults?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." And they said, "Okay, well, catch one of those moonsaults." So I thought it was a moonsault to the a normal moonsault. This mug jumps up the ring post. I'm by myself in front of like 3,000 people. And here's my big chance.
To make it.
To prove that I can catch someone to gain the trust from these guys. Remember, I've only been wrestling 3 or 4 years, so I'm green as grass. And there's 3,000 people up there, and he's on that top of the ring post. Every camera's flash. I got spots. I go, "Oh my God, please, for the love of God, can I just catch him so he don't die?" And it worked out. Then after that, the next couple times I was going, it was like myself and Pimpinella.
Oh yeah, wow.
Versus the Headhunters, the 2 400-pound twins, and they're from in the States, and I think Dominican Republic, and I got killed. 200-pound twins doing moonsaults, splashes off the top, and I learned the lucha style real quick.
Oh man, thank you for that story. And that concludes the Shoot Your Shot segment for this episode. Man, Shawn Hernandez, you've been so awesome. You've been so gracious with your time. I can't stress enough how I've personally enjoyed sitting under your learning tree this episode. I am super grateful. I hope to meet you one day in person. But before we let you go, can you please promote where people can find you nowadays? Social media, please. The floor is yours, sir.
Social media, I don't know how that works. You gotta realize,
I got you. At Lax Hernandez here on IG. At SuperMax CTM on Twitter.
I got that one. I remember that one.
Pro Wrestling Tees.
Yes, I got that. On Twitter, SuperMax CTM. You know what that. I already educated you guys what CTM stands for and all that. So, if this was not a PG show or PG-13, I apologize. But I mean, even if it was, you guys still need the knowledge to know what's going on. I will be, I'm on Impact, kept your Impact on the AXS channel network, AXS network, and brother, let's all have a good time. My father is retired Green Beret guy, 30 years, and he's teaching me the wine business.
Oh wow! Oh my God!
He has his own winery, so Texas Vineyard and Smokehouse. That's where you can catch me in East Texas, because I'm over there trying to make wine. Not doing very good, but I'm still learning. My dad's wine is awesome. Mine sucks, but that's why I'm an apprentice right now. So I mean, hey, it might catch up to my dad's, but my dad's wine and his sangria is top notch. If you drink, please check it out in East Texas. Texas Whiteheart, Texas Vineyard and Smokehouse.
Oh man, absolutely. Your fans, especially there in America right now, should check it out. Texas specifically, because wine is good for the heart. Everyone,
Oh, yeah.
people, wine is good for the heart, and it makes a great conversation after drinking wine.
Oh yeah.
Again, man, Shawn, thank you so much for giving us this humble show, an opportunity, taking the time off your weekend, and we are so grateful. Well, again, I hope to meet you in person again soon. And before I let you go, real quick, I just remember a story. One of their students, I don't know if you remember him, Josh Bosserman. I learned how to drop kick from him. So, and this full circle, I thank you, Shawn. I thank you for teaching Josh Bosserman to teach me how to drop kick, and PWR in general, Philippine Wrestling Revolution. We hope we get to see you here. And man, just keep washing those hands, keep social distancing, and stay happy. Stay wrestling, man. We're still fans here. We're still fans here. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, man. Take it easy, brother.
Likewise. All right. Man, what an episode. Thank you for hanging on, fellas. Where's the senorito? When you need him? Let's wrap this up. Man, thank you for one Shawn Hernandez for joining us on this morning for CST and midnight on Southeast Asia. Brother, what's up, man?
That was a great talk. I was just enjoying, again, you know how you said that. I'm just glad that there wasn't a lot of questions, honestly, by the fans. Because like, I was just sitting here and enjoying and just listening to Hernandez just speak, just give us these lessons that we have heard time and time again, but it's just really nice to hear it from an actual vet, from an actual person. And yeah, it's just great hearing stories about him, homicide, old days of TNA and everything. Yeah, that was a good show, brother. Thank you both for gracing us on this Monday morning, very early Monday morning. It's gonna be like a long episode. I'm already feeling it, but yeah, that was great, man. How are you feeling right now?
I'm smiling ear to ear still. It's like one of those wrestling seminars that you can't believe it happened, but it did. And I'm super proud that I got to thank, Josh Bosserman, who taught us how to drop kick early days in PWR. And he said he was a student of Shawn Hernandez, and goes full circle again. He was able to mention earlier. But man, I'm just happy, bro.
That's cool. And again, we gotta wrap it up a little bit quick, but I have to talk about the link right now below. So this is the pin link. If you see the pin comment, it is to help our brave frontliners by ordering PWR Mabuhay ang wrestling shirts at tickettome.net. So just visit that link or just visit tickettome.net. You're gonna see it there on their homepage. So when you buy a Mabuhay ang wrestling shirt, part of the proceeds will go to buying the PPE equipment and also helping our frontliners fighting COVID-19 right now. It's not stopping. We're still reaching new heights when it comes to COVID. So please continue to support our frontliners and anywhere else, any other organization that helps people who are in need right now, the frontliners, the people who don't really have any income because of what's happening. So yeah, please, mga amigo at amiga, please continue to support whatever organization you have, if you have the means and the resources to. And yeah, Ken, again, this was a great talk, but I think we got to wrap it up real quick because it is 1:18 in the morning and you got to get into your Reflection Sunday while it's still like a modicum of Sunday if you think about it.
Absolutely. So this comes from the book 1,000 Ways to Leadership. This was given to me by a good homie in Jokwick. That's what he wanted me to say. Jokwick, my dream team homie. And what I'm gonna do for #Reflection Sunday, starting from now, is just open a random page and read from this because I feel like everything happens for a reason. So
all right, let's go. You got it.
So, from 1,000 Ways to Leadership, by learning you will teach, by teaching you will understand. Yeah, that's like the best way to end this program. I just opened the freaking book.
Yeah, man, that was amazing.
No idea, right?
That was amazing. All right.
And as promised, you can still hear me, right? Here's my new haircut, bro.
Yep. There you go.
It's a freaking fox
You're rocking a mullet. He is rocking a mullet, ladies and gentlemen. Amigas, he is rocking a mullet. The new Ken Warren hairstyle. It is a mullet. I am shocked. I'm gonna go off to the side. I'm gonna take a screenshot. There you go. Okay. Oh my god, that is amazing. Okay, I'm happy. I'm happy right now. I saw the new hair. The people who are still here, we have rewarded you with the exclusive Ken Warren new haircut. Yeah. What else can we say? That's like the best way to end it right there. If you
Absolutely,
ask
man.
me.
I just want to thank you, Senorita JD, of course, for tagging me always. Triple F, and thank you, Triple F, for awesome hair. I appreciate it, brother. Probably when you see me next year, I don't know, early or late this year, we hopefully have a show. Maybe I've grown it out, but hey, always quarantine. That's
Hey,
the rebel look. And I just
we'll
want to
see.
thank
We'll see.
Karlski Dabrowski and everyone else who's still here, who tuned in for this episode of #PWOG Live. So on that note, y'all can hashtag that.
That.
Pleasant Monday morning, everyone. Have a great week ahead.
Good night.